Hello, Josie Wales here, and welcome to this, my first ever combat mission, Battle for Normandy After Action Report. So I finally got round to buying the first game in the CM2 series of the World War II genre. Thought I'd start out with a very small single player scenario just to get used to some of the differences between Battle for Normandy and some of the other titles I've already played. The scenario I've picked is Silence the Guns, which is a reconstruction of the attack on Brecourt Manor on D-Day by members of Easy and Dog Company of the 506 Parachute Infantry Regiment, part of the 101st Airborne Division. The mission is to locate and destroy a German artillery battery reportedly consisting of 4 88mm guns that are firing onto Causeway Exit 2, leading off of Utah Beach and disrupting the US 4th Infantry Division. Once the objective has been complete, all forces are to exit off the map near Grand Chamon. The enemy are understood to consist of 4 88mm guns with their crews, and HQ elements, a defensive platoon plus support troops. My own troops are approximately 350 yards northeast of the enemy guns in the hamlet of Grand Chamon. They currently consist of a platoon HQ commanded by 1st Lieutenant Winters, an HQ support team led by 2nd Lieutenant Compton, a scout team equipped with 2 demo charges led by Sergeant Carwood-Lipton, and 2 medium machine guns with Machine Gun A led by Private Leadgott and Machine Gun B led by Private Johnston. There is a chance of reinforcements arriving later. The ground between Grand Chamon and Brecourt Manor is flat farmland bordered by bocage. Due to the nature of the terrain, observation is primarily restricted to the field currently occupied, although the bocage does allow line of sight into adjacent fields if troops are close enough to it to peer through. A 2-storey complex at the southern end of Grand Chamon allows for longer lines of sight in certain directions, but not into the German artillery location. The bocage and trees provide excellent concealment, whilst buildings and walls provide good cover. But the same terrain features also act as obstacles and force movement down narrow lanes and through small gaps in hedgerows. I have identified 3 pieces of key terrain. The first is the hedge running along the northeast edge of the suspected enemy position. From here I have good lines of sight and good lines of fire into the objective field. The second piece of key terrain is the hedgerow running along the southeast edge of the enemy position. A second firing position here will allow the setup of a crossfire into the objective field. Critical to this is the copse at the eastern point of the field which connects the 2 wings of the line, and this making the third and final piece of key terrain I have identified. The troops will be split into 2 elements, an assault element made up of the scout team, XO team and platoon HQ, and a base of fire element made up from the 2 medium machine gun teams. The base of fire element will move out of Grand Chamon to the west and take a position which allows line of sight into the objective field. The assault element will move southwards through Grand Chamon and clear the 2-storey building at its southern end. The base of fire element will be able to suppress any units if required, whilst the assault element manoeuvres into the copse adjacent to the objective. The assault will be reassessed from there. The time is 0830 hours and I have 1 hour to destroy the guns and withdraw from the AO. The machine gun teams move to their positions west of Grand Chamon. The assault element bounds towards the southern end of the hamlet and clears the 2-storey building complex. As the machine gun teams get into position, 2 of the German guns along with infantry and trench works are spotted in the objective field. The machine guns deploy. and the assault element moves out of the two-storey building complex towards the copse. Strategic Update 1, 0840 hours 10 minutes into battle. The base of fire element is in position and spotting targets. The assault element has cleared the two-storey complex and manoeuvred into their assault position near the copse. For the next phase, the base of fire element will engage targets spotted along the north-east hedgerow. Compton and Carwood-Lipton's teams will assault the hedgerow and move into the trenches if possible, closely followed by Winters. The initial plan to additionally envelop the south-east edge of the field has been deemed too risky due to the small number of troops available, and has therefore been scrapped. Once the trenches have been captured by the assault element, the machine guns will move up to redeploy in them. The attack order is given. And the assault goes in. Two heavy machine gun teams in foxholes are spotted at the northern edge of the field, but are quickly dispersed. With the initial firefight won, the assault teams move into the trench.
Look out! Enemy AT gun.
And with the trenches occupied, the machine guns now move up. Two wooden bunkers are spotted along the trench line.
Watch out! Enemy unit.
Strategic Update 2, 0845 hours, 15 minutes into battle. In the opening minutes of the attack, the Germans have abandoned all 4 guns and suffered 13 casualties. I have, as of yet, suffered no casualties. The northeast edge of the trench system has been occupied. The Germans still hold the southern end with the 2 wooden bunkers located within. 2 heavy machine guns in foxholes at the northern end of the field have been seen off, and Leitgott's machine gun team will lay area fire towards those foxholes so as to deter any attempt by the Germans to reoccupy them. Johnston's machine gun team will engage along the trench line so as to facilitate manoeuvre. The assault element will move along the trench to clear out the first and then the second bunker. Back in Grand Chamon, members of Dog Company arrive under First Lieutenant Spears. They speedily make their way to help support the attack. Meanwhile, the action in the field continues.
Enemy anti-tank gun sighted.
At the northern end of the field, a German heavy machine gun is spotted. seen off by Leapgot's machine gun team. The first bunker is attacked.
Enemy unit ahead. Go, go, go!
Grenades and small arms prove ineffective, so the demo charges are brought out. Which forces the Germans out. Despite heavy covering fire, 2 men are wounded before the bunker is cleared.
Sir, spotted an enemy unit.
Lieutenant Spears arrives in the objective area with some men from Dog Company. They push through to take on the second bunker. Once again, grenades and small arms prove ineffective, so the bazooka man is sent forward. However, in their eagerness to kill Germans, Johnston's machine gun team get a bit overzealous with their suppressing fire, and rounds start to hit around Buck Compton's team. Their error is realised before any real harm is done. With disaster averted, the men of Dog Company clear the last of the trenches, and then return their attention to the second and final bunker.
Reload.
With the last bunker down, potshots are being taken at stragglers on the other side of the field. The positions are held until the 2 wounded casualties are dealt with. Then Spears' men are given the order to withdraw. Shortly followed by the Easy Company troops. Lieutenant Winters and his HQ are the last to leave the field, which is left eerily quiet. And it's a major victory, with me scoring 1,000 points to the AI's 246. I have 35 men OK with 2 casualties, and the AI has 18 men OK with 36 casualties. I have achieved all of the ground objectives and also all of the target objectives. This was an enjoyable little scenario that is very quick to play, which is one of the reasons that I chose it, because I wanted to be able to quickly ascertain the differences between this title, Battle for Normandy, and the other 2 titles in the series that I regularly play, Final Blitzkrieg and Fortress Italy. And the obvious difference is the terrain, in particular the bocage, as it does restrict lines of fire and lines of sight. It does also provide good concealment. However, it also restricts avenues of approach, so it will be interesting to see how that plays out in upcoming head-to-head battles. The second reason that I chose this scenario is because the assault on the guns of Braycourt Manor is featured in the second episode of what in my mind is the best TV miniseries ever created, Band of Brothers. I'd like to give a big thank you to the scenario designer or designers, because from what I understand of the actual assault, this is about as close as Combat Mission can come to recreating that real event. If you like what you've seen, please leave a like, feel free to comment, subscribe. I'm Josie Wales. War is hell. Thanks for watching.